Lovely. Scott, good afternoon. Good to catch up with you. Welcome to Galway Bay FM, and first time we've seen you since you arrived in Connacht. So how have you found things since you headed here?
Yeah, so it's been great to return to Ireland firstly, and probably different experience coming to the west of Ireland again, and it's family really enjoying it, and obviously it's a great team here, and to be part of a great coaching team as well. So really enjoying my time here.
Your playing record against Connacht was 4-4 played, 4-1. So I'm just wondering, what did you used to think about coming down to the Sportsground? Was there a sort of a, we're going back to the dog track, or the wind and rain when you were with Leinster? Sort of a, what was the experience from the playing side coming here? And you had two big wins, to be fair.
Yeah, it was always a huge challenge for us, and I think when I was as a player, it was always a game that we had to show up for, because we'd been hurt in the past when we'd come down here. So you knew that it was going to be, obviously the conditions were always going to play a huge part in that, but for getting that emotional energy into the team, and because I know that every time you come here, and Connacht were, I was on the other side of that, but we were going to give it to them. So make sure that you're physically ready to have a big challenge here, because it was always going to come.
So how interesting is it now to be on the other side, to get an understanding of maybe how this place operates? I know it's in a slightly different time frame, but it's just the Connacht mentality, or the facilities, or how they gear up to play rugby.
I'd say it's similar. It's kind of it's funny, because some of the guys I've actually played with at Leinster that I'm now coaching. So and even JB, I've coached him. Played with him at Brumbies, and now coaching. So I guess similar people to what I've dealt with in the past, but also they're all such good people, and that's part of the reason I wanted to come back to Ireland, is work with quality players and quality coaches, and you get those at both clubs and both provinces, I guess. So in terms of facilities, I know that this place is getting a revamp soon, so I think it'll be on par with anything in Ireland. So looking forward to that. But part of the facilities kind of make up that whole culture of the place, and it's special in its own way.
Last season for Connacht ended on a high. They got to the semi-final. It all happened very quickly at the end. Big win in the quarter-final, and they got to the semi. Is there a sense here, are you picking up a vibe that now that has to be built on, that laid a foundation, but this is an opportunity now to really move up a level?
Yeah, I guess so. I think you always want to keep improving as a side. So I think you watch that run towards the end of last season was fantastic, but it would have been nicer to be in a better position going into those finals, and not have so many do and die games. Be in front of the season like we can do by starting well. So really good opportunity to do that now, and leading into this week.
What do you think, with your experience in rugby in different hemispheres, what are you hoping to bring here for Connacht, and what are you hoping maybe to learn as well in this coaching role?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is learning as well. I think it's a great place for me to come from a personal point of view, is to work with the coaches I'm working with here, work with the quality players that we've got here at Connacht. So, I'm very lucky to come here and work with such good people and good players and good operators. So, for me to learn as much as I can in this, and hopefully I can bring my experience from what you just talked about, playing in different areas, playing in different countries, and bringing a broad range of experience to the coaching group, and then some technical stuff, but obviously probably from more so as a player, recently retired player in the last few years.
Do you think that makes a difference, that you've got an understanding of, coming from being a professional player, you have an understanding of the mindset of players, that coaches who haven't maybe played at the highest level, and by that I mean professionally, maybe they understand a lot of it, but there's little things that might surprise them that you would see quicker.
I guess it's about having a balanced coaching group that from different walks of life, and just like different players, just like a player group, having a balanced one. So, we all have our strengths, and maybe that could be mine. But obviously John's had a great history here at Connacht. He understands the place better than anyone. So, you all bring our little bits to the table, and do what's best for the side.
Looking forward to Saturday. Get on the park.
yeah, really looking forward to it. So I think hopefully it should be a good day, and really looking forward to what's going to be a really tough challenge versus Ospreys. But boys have trained really, really hard over the last 15, 16 weeks to be ready for this game. So really looking forward to getting started.
Good stuff. We'll have to catch up with you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Scott, can you just elaborate a bit on what your strengths are, or what you think your strengths are bringing into Connacht?
Yeah, trying to be humble at the same time. But I guess as I talked about what my experience was as a player, and then obviously doing defence here is I guess that's my strength as a coach is a defensive mindset and what we can bring around our defence. And obviously the Irish teams as a whole are all great defenders, so I'm still learning myself, and it's good to be part of that.
And when you say the defensive strength, have you noticed anything that's actually lacking since you've been here in it, or is it just tweaking? Is it just?
No, slight tweaking. There is some things, but not overly. Like I think it's when I watch from home from back in Australia in the last few years, and when this job was kind of in the offering, I watched Connacht and I thought they defended well, especially towards the end of the season as well. So there's a few minor tweaks to make us hopefully better, and that's what coaching is.
What your perceptions before you came to Connacht? I'm not sure what they were, but have they changed since you've been here?
Oh, I guess not. No, I think I think I always respected Connacht as a club, and always a tough challenge when I came here as a player. And I remember years ago someone said you'd love to go there when I was in Japan. Actually, I think when I first went to Canberra, he goes, you'd love to go Connacht because they're on the west coast and this wild kind of country. I think he'd love it because I'd been in rural Japan before, and he said you'd love the idea of going there and living there. And I thought about it. He talked about the bus travel, and I was like, I'm not sure actually, but I said So I've always wanted to see the west of Ireland, and I always liked the idea of the rural town team as well. So, but I think as I said before, you're working with great players and great coaches, and Willie runs a pretty good organisation at the same time as well.
So tell us about this coaching group that you have here now, because you've got Australians and you've got English people and you've got Irish people. I'm not sure if there's any New Zealanders left actually.
So you've got Tim there, Tim there, yeah.
Tim. How does it all gel together?
Yeah, and I think it's you've got guys with a broad range of experience, and obviously John's had a number of years now at Bristol, and then Cully's a very good technical coach, knows the game really, really well. Had a really great experience here in Ireland already, and you got Mark who's done a great job with the 20s and come in and do his attack, and then Pete's he's been here for a number of years and grown the team from probably back in that 15, 16 when he arrived to what it is today. So. I'm just kind of hooking into that and just enjoying the process of learning from those guys at the same time and being part of it.
Learning though, what have you got to learn?
What have I got to learn? Well, I think when you come out as a player, I think it's really difficult because you probably don't, without getting that coaching experience, even the day-to-day running of computers and all that stuff that coaches know how to do. When I went to Japan, I remember being just totally out of my comfort zone in terms of how I code games and look back at games and how I review, preview and all those things. That was the hard bit for me. I think when you, as a player, you turn up and play and you leave, but the coaching really starts post the game on the Saturday when you're watching footage and then going back and going through that. And I've learned a lot off the guys already here about my processes and how to make those better and things like that.
And what confidence do you have that Connacht can win a Pro 14?
Yeah, I have a lot of confidence. I think that we're one game away from a final, and probably won a few moments within that semi-final last year from being in a final. So, we're very confident about what we can do.
That's right. Thank you.
Just one from me. Did you coach while you were playing? Like I know that I only played at amateur rugby, but when I started coaching, my only regret is that I didn't coach while I was playing because I learned so much while I was coaching. It was only kids I was coaching. But did you do that when you were playing, or are you straight into coaching from playing?
Oh, I guess I talked a lot when I played, so to referees and everyone. So that was grand. So I guess as you become a senior player, those things happen kind of naturally. So you're helping out players around you, and and you do a small bit of coaching, I guess, but you're not standing there doing presentations like you would as a coach. So it's a totally different thing in the end.
And like, I ended up again. I was a forward and ended up coaching backs, which I found incredible. That I suddenly understood what they were trying to do, having been in the pack, giving them the ball, going, and what are they at? But is this something that you would aspire to go and learn the rest of the game?
I still struggle to understand backs, mate. Even Stephen doesn't understand. So, I think you get a whole. You think you know everything as a player. I think every player would be the same, and that's good. That's good in some ways. You want them to try, but then when you get coach, you realise there's so much that goes into it in terms of trying to prep a team and all the detail that needs to be. Everyone needs to be across, and you need to be across as a coach. So there's more and more that comes into it, and you slowly find your feet as you go.
All right.
Scott, what's impressed you most though since you've been here?
I think the players. I think some really, really good players here. So I think that they've impressed me a lot. So obviously the media team's pretty good as well, but the staff is great. So, but I think in all seriousness, I think some really good young players that are here and some good senior players as well. Some guys that are should be putting their hands up for future selections and national honours and things like that. So to be here and watch these guys develop is special, and that's what I really enjoyed about my time here in Ireland previously, was seeing players that are now playing in World Cups come through as young players and seeing their journey. Not that I did much for them, but I'm seeing their journey and being part of it.
Like who?
I guess those guys that I played with initially, like I look at Dan Sheehan, Ronnie Kelleher, those guys were in the academy when I arrived at Leinster, and now they've gone on, and Hugo Keenan's a special player. Those guys, to see those guys go on and play well and play for their nation and be stars is great, because I saw them when they were just academy players. So hopefully there's guys like that can do that here and go on and play for their nation and do things, because I think that's what you want.
And is there anyone you can actually mention who you would identify with now?
Not yet, no.
Just in case you want to give
I've named them all, yeah.
Irish team soon.
I just think there's a big chance for them to do that. They should have that. Hopefully they say to themselves that they can go on and push off and play. I think you've seen what Ireland have done over the last few years and how they inspired the nation over the last few weeks especially. So it's been great to be here and see that and see rugby is such a healthy sport in this country.
Any weaknesses?
In the Irish team?
No, that you see in Connacht that you think needs to be sorted? No weaknesses at all?
Not that I'd share. Not that I'd share publicly. Yeah, and move on. Yeah.
Just one from me. This pre-season's gone on nearly as long as a season, it feels like. So how competitive has it been for selection for Saturday? Because they've had a few games, but this is the serious business starts now, and it's 11 continuous weeks of it. So pretty hot and heavy training this week.
Yeah, no, I think they trained well this morning, the boys. So, really, it's been competitive among the positions, and the guys have put their hand up over those games over the last few weeks, and over training. Every day's an opportunity to impress. So, really looking forward to Saturday. The guys have earned the right to play well.
And what do you look for in a player who doesn't get picked? Some guy who comes up and says, "Why is that so and so picked ahead of me?" Or whatever. What are you looking for in the guys that are actually just going to be carrying tackle bags for the rest of this week? What do you want to see from them?
Oh, well, people don't ask me that, so it's good. I don't have to worry about that. But I think you want to see a reaction if you're not in the side and train well. I think there's always an opportunity to train well. So there'll be a chance to train well and take on guys within the squad. So that'll happen every week. So that's your chance to impress. So.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Nice meeting you all.